Okay. So just a very quick, very fast recap. We saw what is GM. We saw the different regions. What is GM? MOSFET. The feature of a MOSFET is it will take wait, it will take the input. This is our MOSFET. The input that can be given to MOSFET is voltage. Okay, this is the yes, voltage. And what in with for voltage it will generate a current. Okay, current is ID. But the more the ratio of this will be GM. For what voltage, what current it will generate. ID by V is the current ratio that we will get. That ratio is ID by V. Ratio is your GM. Higher the GM, better it is for our amplification. So we generally operate this in saturation region. Okay. So if you come below and below, you can see that ratio will be less. So we generally operate it in saturation region. After that, we saw we want to make an amplifier. Why? Because we our signal whatever we get will be uh, having lots of noise which will be present. We want to amplify it so that we can get our actual signal in a better form. Okay, so we saw the first simple basic amplifier, which is a common source amplifier. Okay, this video separate video is also present in that YouTube link. Okay, in the YouTube channel. Okay, only a simple common source NMOS basic common source amplifier will be present there. A simple basic equation for this amplifier is AV is equal to GM times RD. Okay, how we got GM times RD? There is a different thing. Okay, but it is actually simple. V out by V in. We should do AV is equal to V out by V in. V out, if you take and we take differentiation, we will get that, and then we will get AV is equal to GM times RD. GM equation is same. Okay, this is the same GM equation. It will be the same for all case. So this GM equation, which is equal to mu n C of W by L, which is minus Vt 1 plus lambda times Vds. Okay. So if you want higher gain, what you should do? You should increase W by L ratio here. Okay. Or you can increase Vgs minus Vt, or you can increase Vds. Then you will can get higher GM. But most of the time, if you want higher GM, we increase W by L ratio. Okay. And what is the other thing we can improve? RD. Can we keep increasing RD and keep getting higher gain? No, as RD is a resistor. What it does, the voltage drop across resistor starts increasing, because higher the resistor, more current will if RD increases, ID increases, ID into RD, the ratio, the multiplication factor increases. So this V out here overall comes down. Okay, and if it comes down at one point of time, this M1 will no longer will remain in saturation region. It will come to linear region. Okay, so this graph here shows it nicely. Okay, your V in, if you keep increasing V in, if you keep increasing V in, V out first it will be high, then it will fall, and it will be, then it will die. Okay, so this is how it will be. Then I think Yes. Now today we will see some other variants of common source amplifier. Okay. Before going that, we have to also see the PMOS based common source amplifier. Okay. Although some of you have tried that, very good. I will just quickly do that. See what how PMOS and NMOS, whatever is there in PMOS, NMOS. If you want to do it in NMOS, you have to just reverse everything. Okay. So what is this amplifier? Let's see. See if this is your ground. Oh, okay, wait. V in, V out. Okay. This is your V in, this is your V out. Now, if we want to do, this is NMOS. If I want to do PMOS, V in, V out. Okay. It is exactly the same, but see, this will go up, this will come down, V out will, okay. And now, what is VGS? That is very important. VGS here is this one, okay, and VGS here is this one. So here, if you increase input, the VGS will start reducing because this is with respect to VDD, right? So this is VD. Here it is respect to ground. So we should be very careful when VIN increases. In case of PMOS, our VGS starts reducing. Okay, so we should know where to apply what. Okay, when to use NMOS based common sense amplifier and when to use PMOS. So first, that is your application. Okay, uh, when we are going to, so there are two amplifiers here. Okay, one is NMOS, one is PMOS. So one of your uh, internship thing is one out of multiple projects. One of them we have to do both of them and tell with the proof why when I am going to use NMOS based common source amplifier and when I am going to use PMOS based common source amplifier. Okay. So here now let us try to do this, implement this in LT space quickly. Okay. Okay, so now this is the circuit. Okay, I am going to apply some input here and I should get a, so I will convert this into a sine wave. Okay, sine wave. So DC offset, we should be very careful here. Okay, if VDD is point 1.2 volts. Okay, VDD is 1.2 volts. Then VDD minus something we should give. Okay, so here we should give point 0.8 or something like that. Okay, offset. So now if I give point 0.8, it means I'm giving point 0.4 output voltage. Okay, wait, I'll explain that. Maybe point 0.7 we should. Amplitude 1 milli, that is same. Kilohertz 1 kilohertz. Okay, so what is this? Now it is 0.7 here means, oh, if I make this as 1.2, that means this VGS is 1.2 minus 0.7. That means I'm actually giving zero point 0.5 volts here. I'm actually giving zero point 0.5. Although I'm giving here 0.7, that means I'm giving zero point 0.5. Okay, 1.2 minus 0.7. That's why. Okay, next R. I will take some value of 50k initially to start with. W by L ratio 1 micro and 20 micro initially to start with. Okay, so now it is not giving us enough gain. Let us first change this model and all. This should be PMOS here. And threshold should be always in minus sign. So it is showing very high gain initially. Let me make it as 10k and see. Okay, now I keep increasing this. Okay, now you can see. Okay, it has hit the rooftop now. You cannot further increase. Okay, so I have to reduce now. Okay, so this is somewhat ideal. Okay, so I'm getting around gain of 756. It goes up to 786, 30. So 1 millivolt input, I am getting 30 as the output, 30 millivolt output. Okay, so hopefully you guys have understood when I'm selling 30, it is with respect to this. Okay, and I can still further improve, say 1100, 1200 if I do slowly. This has now margin up to 1k. Okay, so now let us see whether this is in saturation or not. Okay, so if I click on this button here, so this is showing 750 millivolt. Okay, what is this? 699. It is this 1.2. Okay, now let us take this. Okay, so now VGS, so the same formulas. Okay, VGS should be greater than mod VT. Okay, now I'm taking mod. Okay, mod Vt. Mod Vt will be how much? What was our Vt here? Let us see. 0.45. Okay, just check whether this voltage is greater than 0.45. 700 minus 1200, so 500. So we are greater. Okay, first condition is met. What is the second condition? VDS should be greater than VGS minus VT. Okay, it should be greater than VGS minus VT. So what VGS minus VT is how much? 100. Okay, 500 minus 0.45, 50. Okay, this is 50 milli. Okay, and what is, so here this VDS, okay, it can go up to 50 milli. So 1.2 minus 750, it is having very good margin. Okay, still I can go up to 50 millivolt. Okay, this gap, so that means I can go up to 1150. So this node here, sorry, this node here, this one, this node can go up to 1750. 1750, 150 if it goes, then it will become 1200 minus 1050. Only up to that point if I go, my device is in saturation region. Okay, so I can still go there. So what I will do, if I want to go there, I'll either increase R or I can also increase W by L ratio. Okay, I will make this as 20 micro and see if it goes and hits. Okay, it is gone almost, so it will not support. How I am telling that? Because my gain has gone drastically less. Okay, so I cannot do that. 12 micro. So 12 micro, I'm getting more than now 30, 38 I'm getting. Okay, 38 gain. That is good. I can slightly further increase. I'll make this is 13 micro. Now again my gain has further improved. Okay, more than that. Let it be 1000 only. Okay, now slightly further we can increase. So what I will do, 14 micro. Okay, so now it is almost on the verge of going out. Okay, so now it is almost gain is 40. Okay, for gain is 40. If I further increase, it is no longer show any amplification. 15 micro gone. Okay, so now if you now application will start reducing, and you can see it is getting clipping also. Okay, it is getting clipped here. So no longer we can do amplification. Okay, if something like this clipping happens, we cannot do amplification. So this is the maximum gain what we can get. Okay, the today's assignment is when to use NMOS, when to use PMOS. Okay, I will give some better project. This can be a simple assignment thing only. You should sit and analyze and tell when to use NMOS. So how do you do that? First, the way I have done NMOS and way I have done PMOS, sit and do nicely. Start from the minimum voltage, go up, 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 and do it, and then tell me in one or two lines how when to use, when will you use NMOS, and when, see how, everything is an application. Okay, for example, you are doing a college mini project. Okay, you want to do something, what, let us see, uh, a simple microcontroller is there. Okay, there is a sensor here. Okay, this is a touch sensor. Okay, when you touch this, it will generate some voltage. That voltage is taken by this microcontroller. Okay, 8051, and it will generate some response. Okay, so it should tell LED should blink here. Okay, there should be LED which should blink that you have touched. So your hand will come here, and when you touch this LED should blink. That is your project. Now inside this micro, now this is your inbuilt microcontroller. Now instead of that, I will make a simple BJT or a transistor. Okay, so that transistor should replace this 8051 now. So the transistor will be like this. Okay, black box. Now you can either use our NMOS based common source amplifier or PMOS based common source amplifier, and then you should decide how are we going to do this. Whether you are, if you are given an opportunity, whether you will do NMOS based one or PMOS based one, you have to understand that and do it. Okay, that is your task. So you have to decide whether if a sensor is there, what for what kind of sensor I should use NMOS, what kind of NMOS I should use PMOS. Okay, and generally sensors will give small voltages. Okay, and based on that, you should tell me for if a sensor was giving me this voltage, then I will use NMOS. If sensor was giving me this kind of voltages, then I will use PMOS. Okay, think and do it. If whoever has not done PMOS, you guys can try for 5 minutes. You guys can try this. I will be away for 2 minutes. You can try this particular case. I will be back in 2 minutes. Okay, you guys can try for some more time, one more 2 to 3 minutes. You can try. You guys can also try to reply if you feel you know when to use NMOS, when to use PMOS. That you one of you can try. So I will give an example. Okay, say now the sensor cannot generate more than say 50 millivolts. Okay, it cannot generate more than 50 millivolts. You when you touch on this sensor, it can generate maximum 50. Okay, the sensor has that property. Now which amplifier you will use, NMOS or PMOS? You can reply on the chat window. Let us see. I will explain it in better way. Okay. Okay. So this is our case scenario. Okay. One will have this, and this is this. This is one case. Okay. This input can be sensor now. This is your sensor. Okay. This can be coming here. This sensor is connected to ground. Okay. This will generate maximum 50 millivolt. Second case is this one. This can be maximum 50 milli. Okay. So now which one is better? Okay. So let me show this one or blue one or red one for our case. So this is NMOS. Okay. Right side will be NMOS and left side will be PMOS. Can I apply 50 and we know the threshold voltage for the transistor. Okay. Let us fix for common for both. Okay. 0.45. Okay. This is common for both of them. Okay. 0.45. This transistor is having 0.45 and this one is also having 0.45. Okay. Both of them are having same threshold 0.45. In that case, when we will use PMOS or NMOS. So this one you should simply judge and see what is the VGS which is applied here. What is the VGS it can be applied here. Okay. Based on that, that is the clue. You can just answer, try to answer now. Take your time. Think and tell me. Just tell me what is the VGS in this case. This is VG, this is VS voltage. Okay, what is VGS in this case? What is the VGS in this case? That is enough. If you just tell me what is VGS in this case, first case, NMOS case, what is the VGS? What is the VGS in case of NMOS? And what is the VGS in case of PMOS? Correct. In case of this is NMOS. Okay. What is the same thing in case of PMOS? Okay. NMOS it is 50 million. Done. What is it in? Oh, so VS is here 1.2. 1.2 minus 50. Okay. So here VGS is 1.105, and in this case VGS is 0.05. Which of the transistor can work? NMOS will work or PMOS will work? Only PMOS will work. Okay. So this only this PMOS transistor will work because the VGS here is greater than the threshold of the transistor. So threshold of the transistor is 0.45. So with this low voltage sensor, our PMOS will only work. Okay. NMOS cannot work here. If the sensor was generating 1000 volts, okay, 1000 millivolts or 1 volt, then we could go to this transistor here. Okay. So one simple application we understood when to use NMOS and when to use PMOS. Okay. Okay. Now let us go to a variant here, a simple common source amplifier. Okay. Here the problem is as we increase the resistance here, the drop is increasing. Okay. So we although we GM into RD increases, our drop starts increasing and increasing. So instead of using a resistor, if we use a component which uses high resistance but drop will be less, that kind of components we need. Okay. So that kind of component we need something that doesn't agree Ohm's law. By Ohm's law, as resistance increases, voltage drop must increase. But we don't want something like that. So instead of a resistor R1 1000K, we want a component which will give 100 or 200 maybe 1 mega 2 mega ohm resistance, but drop across it should be very less. Okay. So that is the thing we have to do. So what we are doing here, we are replacing this resistor R1, we are replacing this resistor R1 by a MOSFET. Okay. And we are going to see how that will help. Okay. So let us see that there are three variants here. Okay. So this is one variant. This is all you can see, the lower part is same. Okay, because it is an NMOS based common source amplifier. Okay, so all these three lower parts are same. Here upper part I am going to replace with the diode connected PMOS. This is PMOS. Okay, then what I am going to do, I am also using a diode connected NMOS. Next one, I will tell you what is diode connected. Then finally a active load. Okay, this is called as active load. All these are replacing our resistor. Okay, this resistor which we had here, this resistor we are trying to replace. So that why we are replacing this resistor, we are replacing this resistor so that we want high resistance. Okay, this resistance, if it goes higher, that drop will increase. So I don't want high drop, but I want high resistance. So we are replacing this with a transistor, and transistors can be replaced in multiple form. It can be a diode connected or a normal transistor where we are keeping some bias voltage and making it to go into saturation region. So what is diode connected NMOS? Diode connected NMOS or diode connected PMOS is when you connect the drain and source voltage. Okay, so This is your drain. This is in case of NMOS. This is drain, drain and gate. Okay, you are shorting the drain and gate voltage. You are going to short the drain and gate. So in case of PMOS, this is your gate and this is your drain. We are shorting gate and drain voltage whenever you see a MOSFET and you see that, see if this is your MOSFET and you are shorting this gate and drain, this is called as diode connected. Okay, and in case of NMOS, it will be like this. Okay, this will be called as diode connected. Okay, so what are the benefits we see? Okay, so this common source amplifier, if it is having active load, the formula will change. Okay, so the formula for this transistor here is, let me show you. Formula will change. So for a simple basic common source amplifier with resistor load, AV is equal to minus GM into RD, whereas in case of diode connected MOSFET, it will be this. Okay, for these two MOSFET amplifiers, AV is now given by square root of W by L of 1 by W by L of 2 into 1 by 1 plus eta. Okay, so what is this 1 by 1 plus eta? Eta is something which is coming because of uh, wait, this is coming because of, wait, I'll explain. What is the term? Uh, Short channel effect. Okay, wait. Wait, slide for that. No. Okay. Yes, I think I will tell you this exact term. Okay, what I will tell you what is happening here. So generally, the bulk of the device, the bulk which will be there, should be connected to the source. Okay, but in case of NMOS, the source is here. Okay, and if you try to connect, you cannot connect it to bulk to this point. Okay, so we have to connect it to ground. So bulk of M2 and bulk of M1 will be at different potential. Okay, so the bulk and source must be shorted, but in case of M2, bulk and source will not be shorted. Okay, but you don't have to worry about that right now. So this eta you can just forget. So AV is given by this ratio here. Okay, AV is given by this ratio, simply this ratio. This this term is negligible. Okay, this one by one. So these two transistors have this simple basic formula. So W by L ratio of this one by this one. So it says that this transistor you should have higher W by L ratio, and this transistor you should have lower W by L ratio. Then you will start getting amplification. Okay. I think you guys can try this and this transistor right away now. For 5 minutes, you try one of this, any one of this, and check whether this formula is met. So I'll give you 5 minutes of time. Try. So maybe we will continue with the tomorrow. We will stop our basic analog thing. Okay, so tomorrow will be the last day, and then from Monday we will so tomorrow I will create a two batch thing. So few of them had already suggested me that I have to go slow, so those people I am going to add in that batch. Okay, maybe 5 or 6 I already have. So others who want me to go slow, you can join that batch. Okay, we will go nicely slowly and we will finish the topic slowly there. Okay, so you guys can message me and tell me that you want to be that part of that. Even although I will forcefully add some of them so that the batch will be equally divided. Okay. So make sure if you are interested by tomorrow, you tell me if you want to come to that batch. Then there will be only 4 days a week for you guys. Okay. So 4 days for one batch, 4 days for other batch. Okay. So we can then slowly finish. We have another 15 classes remaining. So we will do that slowly. Okay. So that means totally 8 hours, around 8 hours of class still remaining, where we will fully focus on our analog, our machine learning thing. Okay. Try this circuit now for 5 minutes. You can try. Then I will give some homeworks. Okay. Okay. So you guys can refer some of the videos which I have done. Okay. And try to implement these three things. Okay. So how to start with? I will show you. You should know that this particular transistor has this formula. Okay. GM1. So GM1 will be this GM1. Okay. GM2 will be of this transistor. Okay. R01 and R02 are the inbuilt transistors. Okay. So you cannot do much with this. Okay. Whatever W by L, you keep that as it is, and you will get the gain here. Okay. So you W by L ratios higher and higher, you will get GM and GM2 higher. So try to get a good swing here. There is some issues which you will face here. Okay. This one is very straightforward. The left one is a straightforward thing. It has this formula. Just try to implement this and you can try to get the good gain here. Okay. So this is all with NMOS variant. Okay. These are all NMOS. So three transistors you should do with the NMOS, and then the equivalent PMOS you should do. I'll see if I have all the PMOS equivalent here. No. Okay. So so your task is do the NMOS and the PMOS. Okay, of all these three. Okay. So total six transistors you must do. Okay, six circuits you must do. Okay, NMOS, PMOS. So this all these three are NMOS. I will share this image in the group. Okay. Okay. So you have to try these three in NMOS and PMOS. So six of them will be there. Okay. Tomorrow we will see one last variant and then we will wind up the syllabus for this. Okay. So this one will be this. Now we can then next go to a simple. No, we will not go to cascade for you guys. We will go to common sources. Source generation is there. Actually, few more are there. Many are there, but I think we will not go that. So we will go to common gate amplifier and common source follower. Okay, we will try to do that. So I will do that particular thing. Okay, source follower and common gate amplifier, common gate stage and source follower. These two we will do and wind up. Okay. Yeah. Common source follower and common gate. So there will be a total six few variants will be there in both of them. We will do that and wind up. Okay. So today we will stop here. And tomorrow we will sync up.